Welcome back to Kearney Creek Farm, and I got a rooster crowing in the background. Today we're going to test out these two products from Harbor Freight, one being the Storehouse heat shrink and the other one being the Pittsburgh heat shrink. Let's take a look inside the boxes, see what we can do with this stuff. And I grabbed my Milwaukee heat gun with an XC 5.0 battery on it. So let's get going. So that was Duke. You just saw making a racket inside the shop. I closed the door. Hopefully he won't be too much of a pain in the butt anymore. So that's what I wanted to do here was kind of mock up. I probably won't even use a connector. I'm just going to run some heat shrink just right on top of the wire here and see how this stuff shrinks down. Let's start with the Storehouse brand. And it comes in, let's read this real quick, 120 pieces. And you can pause the video there if you wanted to see all the information and sizes there. But it comes in a bunch of different colors. We're going to pick one that's closest to this. Let's see, 5/30 seconds. Just go with black. Slide that on there. That's pretty close. All right, let's see how this stuff works. Well, that's not too bad at all. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I'll throw the detail pricing up on the screen right about here for this product, the Storehouse product. Let's go ahead and pop open the Pittsburgh, and here is information on that, 140 piece. I don't see any details there. Here they are on the back side here. Oops. And there's what comes in the box. Let's go ahead and open this up. So I think this is probably roughly about the same size, 5/30 seconds. And now it's not as long as the Storehouse brand. These seem to be shorter. Well, it looks like but these come in larger sizes as well. So these are pretty large. The biggest one over here on the Storehouse side is that side. So if you need something bigger, I would definitely go with the Pittsburgh brand. But if you just have a bunch of smaller wires to do, the Storehouse brand is fine too. Let's try out the actual Pittsburgh heat shrink and see how that works. The Pittsburgh seemed to shrink down quicker than the Storehouse brand. I kind of let it go for a little bit longer. So here you have side by side, Storehouse on the left and Pittsburgh on the right. They both do the job. This one kind of slides off a little bit. This one does not slide off. I don't know if I push hard enough, it does. I think just for, if you're working on something and you're not going to have a lot of strain or stress on the wire or cable, either one of these should work fine. I don't really have too many complaints about either one. They do the job. So I'd buy either one of these actually. Like I said, I'll throw the information from Harbor Freight as far as price for the Pittsburgh set right about here. But I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Would you use either one of these brands? They seem to do the job. I do like the fact these come in colors in case you had to identify a certain wire or cable. You could do that. This is more kind of a utility set, I would imagine, but I do like the fact that they come in a lot larger sizes. They do have some little minis in here too that looks like the smaller ones. Yeah, the smaller ones in the Pittsburgh set are smaller than the ones in the Storehouse set. But anyway, that's my quick little review of the Pittsburgh versus Storehouse heat shrink tubing. I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I think this would come in great if you're doing any kind of DIY type stuff or automotive wiring. Run by your Harbor Freight and grab one of these, and we'll see you next time.